Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Now, before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. It's an Amazon FBA business created in September of 2017 in the kitchenware, home, culinary, and occasions and gifts niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $216,079 and makes an average of $16,173 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 36 SKUs, primary domains and all site content and files, secondary domain, employee relationships, supplier relationships, e-commerce accounts, which include Shopify and Walmart, social media accounts and pages, which include Facebook and Instagram, 3 trademarks, an email list with over 600 subscribers, and just as a disclaimer, inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to verified buyers. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 63908 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. Welcome to the show, Vlad. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. And same, I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. I would say it is my biggest project so far up to date. Like you mentioned, started in 2017, been dabbling with a few smaller online businesses to get me through college before. So I was not super unfamiliar to e-commerce, but like I said, this is one of the biggest projects up to date. And how the opportunity came up, I mean, Amazon FBA is a super great opportunity even now, and it was even greater before, and really hands off. You can scale really quickly because Amazon has already hot audience that are ready to buy. So basically, you just need to provide what they're looking for and make it better than a competition, and you'll be winning at this business. So that was the reason why I kind of got into it and kind of got interested in Amazon FBA.
Got it. And were the other projects that you were involved in also Amazon FBA or e-commerce, or a different type of business model?
It was e-commerce. Yeah, I was selling cases for iPads a couple of years prior, like a microfiber towel company that we started with a few friends that didn't go too far. But so I was kind of really, really close around e-commerce. So this was just kind of like a logical step. It was kind of a new cool thing to do. It was Amazon FBA, and I was just kind of starting up, and that's how I got into it.
Got it. That's awesome. So why are you deciding to sell the business now instead of keeping it and growing it?
Like I mentioned, it was just my first big project that really took off, and I learned as I grew. So now with the knowledge that I gained and experience that I gained with this business, I'm looking to start over and looking to solely focus on one big brand. I have 3 smaller brands here, and I'm just looking to maybe get into CPG, consumer packaged goods, and as well, utilize Amazon as a sales channel possibly. But yeah, just using the knowledge, and I want to start fresh and clean and kind of potentially grow into something bigger than what I have here.
Yeah. On to the next thing, which is, I think, a sign of many online business owners who I speak with. So completely understandable. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've certainly seen a degree of success here starting from 2017 to now. During this time, what did you learn from building this that worked that you think contributed to the success of this business in particular?
Sure. My big thing is just about service. So we're all solving problems. In any business, you're solving people's problems. And I am super on just listening to your customers, trying to make existing products better, thinking outside the box, not being confined, but by, what's the information that's out there. So what was working for me was just thinking outside the box, always improving, always not thinking about necessarily even the financial gain, but I was more focused on just service and making sure the customer has the best experience out there. And obviously, with those thoughts in mind, financial gains is what comes after naturally. So that was kind of what was working for me.
Yeah, and that's easier said than done to place the experience in front of the financial gain, or focus on the experience when the financial gain isn't immediately there, and just having faith that it's going to follow. And it certainly did for this business. So that's good to hear. Okay. So was there anything you tried with this business that didn't work out as well?
Yeah, I mean, just focusing too much on marketing, I would say. A few times I got overconfident in my marketing ability. And when you're launching, everybody says launching Me Too products, it's not going to work. But I wanted to try for myself, I guess. And a few products, I think everybody has some duds, right? It's not all the time you hit a jackpot or hit a home run. So a few products didn't do so well that I was hoping for. And I think when I was going away from my main philosophy of service and kind of focus more on the marketing side of it later down the road, that's what didn't work. So yeah, just always improving, always trying, and always making better product. The success formula, I think, overall in any business.
Got it. So your focus on the ones that didn't work out as well was more of like Me Too product, more focused on price or a small attribute change or something. And the ones that did work, you'd say you approached a bit differently.
Correct. Yeah. So multiple things were improved and the ones that worked better than the rest of the product. So, it was not one thing that I did. It was just like many different things to make the customer journey more exciting and more frictionless, as you may call it, comparing to what's already out there.
Yep. Got it. Cool. So can you describe now the amount and the type of work that you do on this business for maintenance?
Sure. I have a PPC agency that does PPC for me, obviously. I also have one full-time VA that does operations for me. So that's customer service. We have a pretty set system on spreadsheets that she manages. So we have everything recorded, the orders that we place. So pretty much anything with supply chain that's for existing products, especially, it's already pretty automated, systemized, and she handles that. Pretty much what I do every week, just general overview, high-end decisions, and then I choose the directions of the creatives. So I have the ideas for the picture. So sometimes you always have to revise a little bit every few months just to make sure you're keeping up with the competition in terms of the listing quality. So that's kind of what I do. I would say it's about, for me, sometimes you don't have to do anything. Sometimes you have a decent project for revising a few listings, and that may take a few hours a week. So just basically higher decisions and just looking over the business, making sure everything is running smoothly. Any ad hoc issues that the VA may have that she may not have encountered before. So she reaches out to me, which is rare. And yeah, just the creatives.
Got it.
The direction with the creatives. I have obviously freelancers that do them. I don't design myself.
Okay. So if you were to keep the business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
I think the biggest growth opportunity here would be expanding to different marketplaces. I haven't done that, and I think that would lead to the highest ROI in terms of the time spent. Because you may know when you come into a different market on Amazon, for example, Canada or UK, the reviews are going to transfer over from the US market. So you basically can come in there and take over the niche right off the bat, because this business has a lot of reviews and a few listings. Actually, majority of the listings have a pretty good number of reviews on there. So that would be a great opportunity, basically just set up those supply chain channels and just import inventory to different marketplaces. That's the first thing I would probably do if I keep it. Also, I would say that you can do some social media marketing. And I know that's probably not the highest ROI just from what I hear in Amazon space, but you can definitely pick up a few sales. And I have some strategies that I already have in mind that I just haven't implemented on this business that I'm going to share with the potential buyer on the way I see it. And Walmart, I'm not selling on Walmart as well. I mean, you mentioned that at Walmart is included. I do have that account there for the business, but I haven't actually set anything up. That's another opportunity that's there. So yeah, that's just the three that I can think of on top of my head.
Yeah, and certainly it sounds like that a buyer could go into further detail with you on those directions and determine what would make the most sense. Of course, with any opportunity, there's always risks associated with a business or a business model. So what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
In the Amazon space, we all sleep and we all check our email in the morning and make sure there's no scary messages from Amazon Seller Central telling you something didn't go right in your account. So that's probably the biggest risk, I would say, is Amazon is great. It's got a lot of hot audience. Like I said, there's ready to buy. You just need to provide what they're looking for and you'll be successful in this type of business. But on the flip side, when you're relying on one channel, when you have all your eggs in one basket, which thankfully nothing happened because I don't use any shady or black hat tactics. You never know, Amazon might freak out one day and there's mistakes, there's horror stories you can hear online that sometimes happen. But if you don't do anything shady, the risks are really low, but still it exists. So I would say that expanding to different channels and like I said, where the growth opportunities are, where you could expand to your own Shopify website, which I know some people had success with. It's not obviously, most likely you're not going to get the complete revenue, 50-50 split with Amazon, but 20-30% of your revenue could be coming from a Shopify store. That's for sure. That could be done. So just diversifying your portfolio in terms of the sales channels, I think would be just a safe bet to do. And that's where I would go if I was keeping the business as well, like I mentioned before in the last question.
Yep. And I'm assuming that anybody looking at this business, they would probably have some experience with Amazon at least. So if anybody is listening to this with that experience, then yes, they're probably well aware of the potential risk of selling anything on Amazon at the terms of their terms of service.
I mean, it's any platform, right?
That is true. Okay. So a few housekeeping questions to wrap this up. How much support are you willing to offer a new buyer?
I'm really transparent about this business. So 30 days, right, is included, right, of email and phone support, which is completely fine with me. I mean, I can have a few long meetings with a person and tell them what the things are, and just as I'm being now, but getting into more detail, into anything they would like to know. So if they need me after 30 days, if they have any questions, then we can talk about it and possibly, it depends on the situation, depends on the experience of the buyer, and depends how we are. But like I said, I'm really transparent. So whatever the buyer will need, I'm okay with talking to them about.
All right. And just confirming that you commit to a non-compete after the business is sold?
Yeah, I am committing. It's going to be a different niche I'll be getting to my next project.
Sounds good. And are you open to something like an earnout?
Yeah, it depends on the situation. I will likely need the funds, most of them right away, but we can talk about it. If somebody's really interested, like I said, it's buyer to buyer things to talk about.
Sure. Sounds good. And last two questions. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, like I mentioned, I think there's a lot of growth opportunities that I haven't just gotten my hand to because the last 6 months, I was focused more on just developing myself as a person. So I'm not giving as much time as I think that somebody could put into it. And again, Amazon FBA is an amazing channel to sell through. They handle your fulfillment, they handle most of your customer service. So FBA is a really nice business, and it's a physical product business. It's not going to be like investments or anything like that, where it's like personal opinion. Again, somebody might feel a little shaky about it. You have physical products that are always there. You have brands that people like, and we have repeat customers as well. So if they like the products, they keep coming back. There's a customer base that's already out there for these products. So I think that's why it's a great business to buy, to expand on opportunities and just take full advantage of the Amazon FBA business model as well.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like this business could potentially be grown, based on what you said, just be grown with somebody who is willing to just spend more time on the business at this point.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. And again, I can discuss these strategies that I have in mind more in detail with the buyer as well, and maybe give them some direction and see what they can do. And yeah, I'm excited to see somebody take care of it, and be happy to see it grows double or triple the revenue. That'd be great.
Great. Well, is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
Yeah, I just want to mention a few stockouts that I had throughout even 2022. Inventory management was kind of a problem for me until we had specific software installed actually in the summer to help with that. If there were no stockouts, the revenue might have been higher, obviously, because you had to re-rank and make up for the lost positions. Yeah, that's something that I want to mention. Also, the PPC agency, I'm not super happy with it. So there might be a small opportunity. I didn't really mention it. It might not be super, super significant, but I think there's room for improvement. A couple of maybe $1,000 added back into the revenue if PPC would be more looked after and managed a little better. But yeah, besides that, I think we covered everything.
Well, great. I think I'll wrap this up here. So Vlad, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 63908. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.